Hey folks, Country Prepper here. So we are out to my friend Willie's orchard doing a little camp out, what I like to call a shakedown camp. I brought a bunch of extra gear, some new stuff that I've never tried before, and so I wanted to set it up, test it out, and it's a good thing I did. I'll show you why here in just a second. So there is Tack and Willie right over there. He's got his hammock set up over there in a diamond shaped style. And then there's Tax back there. She's got that Chill Gorilla tarp over top of it. I've been wanting to check one of those out for quite a while. Then there's mine. We'll go check that out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's what I was talking about with this shakedown camp. So I showed you guys that flat laying hammock, the Cloud View Light from Nemo, and I laid in it. It's nice and comfortable. I think I'm really gonna like it, but the problem is it did not come with any straps, no kind of suspension system. For $100 you would think that it would come with a suspension system, but it didn't. And so I didn't bring anything extra for that along with me, but I had these ratchet straps in my emergency kit in my truck, so I'm using those. But when I go for the trip down to Kansas to see Lee Ralph and all those guys, I will definitely bring my Whoopee Sling hammock suspension system to hook up to this. So it's a good thing we did this. Like I said, I call it a shakedown camp. Now I get that term from the thru hikers. They do shakedown hikes, and so to figure out what gear they want to take and what they don't. So anyhow, that's where I came up with that term. And so here, sun's kind of messing with the camera here, but I got those tarp clips. Just an easy way to secure your tarp up on the top for a ridge line instead of having to tie with your actual tie-out loops. And so I like to use those. Just it makes it nice and easy to get your tarp nice and tight. And then the AquaQuest Defender is what this is. I talked about it in a recent video. It's 10 by 13, so I have it going the long way over the ridge, if you can see that. And then I just have it staked down in 3 spots on each side. The reason I did that instead of having it 13 feet going the long way is with my dog with me. That way the wind doesn't get to him and he'll stay a little bit warmer. It's only supposed to get down into, I believe, the 30s, lower 30s tonight. So we'll see what happens. But there's the other ratchet strap, and I need to close that. It's a good thing I noticed that. But we'll peek back in here. There's the big bag I brought all my stuff in, because I did bring a lot of extra stuff. Come up in here. So this hood comes with the To Go Systems Therm, that hybrid sleeping bag and underquilt, and I have that tied up under here. Something I had forgot to mention in the last video when I talked about the gear I was taking. This is a Nemo pillow as well. It's the most comfortable camping pillow I have ever tried out. So I'll try to leave links to all this stuff in the description box below if I can remember. And then there's the Nemo Tango Solo quilt there, the orange and silver, and I think that's going to work out well. But I did bring a fleece sleeping bag and an extra bivvy just in case I need it. Just, you never know. So we'll try it out and see what happens. Coming back over by the fire pit, you guys started the fire without me.
Oh, sorry.
The pyro didn't get to start the fire, dang it. But
the pyro has a whole stack of wood to play with tonight.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. But we're going to
start a volcano.
Get a fire going, get some coals, and cook us up some supper. So we'll be back with you. All right, guys. Well, a little morning update. I slept okay. I had a little bit of just a tiny draft that went down the back of my neck that had me just a little bit chilly over the night. But you know, first time using this stuff and actually using an underquilt that is not made for a flat laying hammock. It actually performed pretty well. One little thing, I'll turn the camera around and show you my feet. My feet weren't covered, but my feet didn't get too cold. I had some nice, really heavy wool socks on, and the foot box on my my quilt, my overquilt, whatever you want to call it. did a fine job. So not too bad in that area, but as you can see here, well, maybe I'll just turn the camera around so you can see really well. So the problem that I was having is because this is a flat laying hammock, it didn't want to cinch up to the bottom of here, so I tied it onto the spreader bar, and that did okay. But just like in these corners, like I said, I just had a tiny bit of a draft that went down the back of my neck, but it really wasn't terrible. If it had been even, maybe 5 degrees warmer, I probably wouldn't have noticed it at all. But it was just cold enough that I noticed it, so I thought I'd mention it. Now on this end, you see it just doesn't quite come to the end of the hammock, but I think if I were to just take one of these tarp clips and attach it to the end of here and be able to pull it a little tighter towards the end, I think it would cover quite a bit better, and I think it'd be even warmer. So other than that, the tarp performed flawlessly as I expected it would. AquaQuest tarps are, top of the line stuff. The biggest complaint I have about the hammock is it not coming with any type of suspension system, but I guess a lot of people replace their suspension system with something that they prefer, like whoopee slings, or like a lot of people use ratchet straps like I used out of my truck. So not a huge deal, but you would think for the price it would come with a suspension system. And I will say that it is by far the most comfortable hammock I have ever slept in, and I've tried a bunch of them. But overall, it was a good experience, and I'm really glad we did this shakedown camp. That way I could figure out what was going to work with it, what I had to adjust, what things that I need to bring along to make those adjustments, that sort of thing. And that's pretty much the whole point of a shakedown camp. Alright guys, well, it's starting to sprinkle on us. Actually, it's starting to rain on us. So getting ready, we're tearing down camp and getting ready to head out of here. But I wanted to do a quick note. The To-Go Systems Therm Hybrid, just easy, just stuff it in the stuff sack, cinch it down, and it's good to go. The AquaQuest Defender tarp, not so much. In a situation like this, I always like to have a stuff sack that you could just jam the stuff in, tie it shut, and take off. So probably be getting a bigger stuff sack for the tarp, but everything else goes right back in the bag. I haven't taken down the hammock yet, but I might do a quick update when I get back to the house, and kind of go from there. Well, I am back, and it's actually a couple days later. I didn't unload the gear when I got home because it was raining and everything was all wet. And yesterday it rained all day too, so I didn't want to unload like my down quilt and stuff like that in the rain. So I just left it in here to dry out for a day, and now I'm getting ready to unload. But I thought I'd put an end to this video and just kind of go over a few things. As you can see, I had a ton of gear with me, and because it was raining, everything just got thrown in here pretty much. But I even brought a couple extra things back. Brought back a knife to sharpen for tack, and she also brought me this big canopy. And so the truck's a little fuller than when I left, but there's still, I did bring a lot of extra stuff, and I won't be bringing anywhere near this much when I go to Kansas. But it was a good idea to bring extra stuff because there were things that I was missing even though I brought extra stuff, and there are plenty of things that I could leave behind. I'm actually thinking about doing another overnighter, another shakedown camp, just for the sake of really dialing in the gear that I need to take for this Kansas trip. And I might have to, of course, adjust a little bit, adapt a little bit for the whatever the forecast is for that weekend when it gets a little bit closer. So we'll just kind of have to see and play it by ear. But yeah, I think another overnighter would not be a terrible idea. Well, with the suspension system, I think I'm going to grab my whoopee slings off of my gathered end hammock that I was using before, just to keep things lightweight and less bulky. And there are a few other little changes that I'd like to make, and get everything dialed in really well before I leave for Kansas, because it is like somewhere around a 4-hour drive to where we're going to be camping. So I think it's a good idea to take your time and do as much preparation before you go that far away from home to go camping, as you possibly can. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it, even though mostly what we did was sit around the campfire and just shoot the breeze. I really enjoyed it. I really needed it. I needed to get out of the house and get out in, smell the fresh air, listen to the birds, listen to basically just nothing but quiet and talking with friends, and it was a good time. So can't wait to get out and do it again. So that's all I got for you guys for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.